Hey guys, it's Sarah here and welcome to a spoiler book review for the Duology series of All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. I have a lot of mixed emotions and opinions about this that I desperately need to talk about, so we are going to be mixing the two books together. Before we move on, I do want to put a disclaimer out there that I am probably most likely going to be butchering everyone's name. I am not very good at names, and this is how I have been thinking about saying it while I was reading it, so that's how I'm going to be saying it in this video, but please correct me if I'm wrong because I most likely am going to be wrong. So the 5 names that you are going to be hearing me say a lot, we don't really care about the 2 that died. They're a little irrelevant now. So I'm going to be calling them Bryony, Alistair, Gavin, Isobel, and Finley. No need to waste time, let's get started. Going in order, I guess this is the first plot twist, which is Bryony betraying her sister. What in the good name is wrong with her? So to jog some people's memories, each chapter is focused on one of the 4 champions. So it's either Isobel, Gavin, Bryony, or Alistair. And I just remember when I first read this and I saw Bryony's name, I was like, oh, she's gonna be the new champion for her family. But she ended up not getting picked and her sister Inez did. Now I'm thinking to myself, why are the chapters about Bryony instead of her sister Inez when her sister Inez is actually the champion and not her? But little did I know that Bryony was crazy enough to chop off her own sister's finger to get that champion's ring. I have 2 main reasons why I can't decide if I like this book or not, and Bryony is one of them. She is honestly my trouble character. Like, I don't know how else to describe her other than that. From the beginning, we know that this girl is egotistic and has a huge hero complex. And she thought her whole life that she was going to be her family's next champion. So when her sister got it, she got extremely jealous. I don't care what her reasoning is. Like, I think she said that she wanted to protect her sister. Like, her sister doesn't know how to fight, but she's been preparing for this her whole life because she thought she was going to be champion. Like, girl, I don't know who you think you are. I don't know who told you that you're going to be family champion, but like, she was not a good friend to Isobel, and just, I don't know, I just don't like her. But then, throughout the whole series, she was the only character from the beginning who thought it was possible to break the tournament for good. Like, girl is very committed to the role. She did not waver whatsoever, no matter what anyone said. She was ready to break this tournament on her own. Like, girl would have done it on her own. She wouldn't have succeeded, but she would have done it on her own. And we're gonna get to her heroic act at the end. Just stay with me. Just keep in mind that she is my trouble character. Next we have is basically the last portion of the first book. The Lows are a forked up family. How can they kill their oldest son, their grandson, whatever you want to call it? And I think the most messed up part about this whole ordeal was the fact that they had to kill him so that his life magic will be drained out and that they can put it into this one spell, which is the Lows' most powerful curse, the Lamb Sacrifice. I genuinely had no idea that he was going to come back. But at the same time, it makes so much sense when Alistair buried the ring in the ground, refusing to use it. That life magic that was inside that ring drained out. And that was probably why he was able to come back. At least that's what I like to believe. I don't even blame Alistair for being defensive and protective over his brother. Like, that was his best friend. That was his only friend. The whole town hates the Lows, meaning they hate Alistair and Hendry as well. But the true cherry on top out of the whole freaking book was a damn betrayal. Freaking Isobel. When I tell you the pure shock, and I mean, good gosh, what the darn heck is going on? I hate betrayal. And shame on me for not seeing it come sooner. But the audacity this girl had. Alistair didn't even try to curse her. Like, he did it by accident. Like, you gotta understand, Alistair had his brother just ripped from his grasp, like forever. And he didn't even get to say goodbye to him. And now his brother is standing in ghost form right next to him. Like, obviously this man is gonna go haywire. So now he is shooting spells left and right at everyone who's trying to end the tournament, because for him, if the tournament ends, which means his brother Hendry will also disappear, because his brother right now is made out of the high magic, which high magic is the reason why this tournament is even happening. Anyways, moving on. And by accident, one of the spells that Alistair was casting out hit Isobel. By accident. Did I say that enough? It was by accident. And he freaks out. Like, it was so evident that he freaked out. He literally stopped everything that he was doing and he ran up to her. And he was telling everyone, like, I'm not gonna hurt her. I just want her to be safe. I just want to heal her. Let me try to heal her. And Isobel, our lovely girl Isobel, took it upon herself to heal herself, which backfired on her. But anyways, that's irrelevant. I don't really care about that part. She's all well. She's all good. So they lean in for that kiss. And this girl decides to put one of the most deadly curses on Alistair, the Reaper's Embrace, by a kiss. Yes, it was with a kiss. And I'm going to say that again.
With a kiss?
Because it's going to be important for later. Was that necessary? He spent the whole tournament since it started protecting you, Isabel, because your dumbass decided to lose all your powers the day before the tournament started. You literally could not even see high magic anymore. And Alistair took it upon himself to care for her, to protect her. He even almost sacrificed himself so that she can live.
What's your reasoning, girl?
Why did you do that?
What was your purpose? Because you were upset that one of his curses hit you by accident when his dead brother that he thought was dead forever came back to life? Like, obviously, girl, what are your thoughts? Like, oh my gosh. That was my little spiel about the first book. We're moving on to the second one. And I got a lot to say about the second one. Actually, no, I'm being dramatic. There's not much. I don't have a lot. I got like probably max like 3 points, but these were really make it or break it points for me. Just stick with me. Just stay with me, okay? I feel like I am going to be offending a lot of people, but I'm ready for the heat. I just need to let this out because boy, I did not see it coming. This is probably one of the most rarest reads where I did not like any of the couples that got together, like at all. I was reading up on some reviews on the second book, and for some reason it seemed like a lot of people saw it coming from the first book, which is so mind-blowing to me because I had no idea. Yeah, I'm talking about Gavin and Alistair, and honestly, not even them, even Isobel and Reed, and the fact that Bryony and Finley got back together, like the whole thing to me was so bizarre. Okay, let's start off with Isobel and Reed. From what I can remember, jogging back my memory, isn't Reed the one that, like, I don't know, kept Isobel hostage for a little bit? Backtrack. As crazy as that sounds for normal people, for us readers, kidnapping trope, hostage, Stockholm syndrome, like, give it all. We want it all. I'm being dramatic. There wasn't much that happened when she was being held hostage, but for some reason, I was not into it. Even when they were bickering and arguing and fighting throughout the whole book, I didn't think of it as like a flirting kind of way, you know? Like, I think it was like, what, towards the middle end, towards the endish, when it was really noticeable that they liked each other, but even throughout the whole book, like, I didn't see it. Was it just me? The fact that they also had sex, I know it wasn't really implied that they did it. Like, it wasn't explicitly written that they are having sex. I think by the details, it was pretty much written that they were sleeping together. And I just found it to be bizarre that at a time and place like where they are now, they were even in the mood to do it. Like, what? Aren't you guys tired from the lack of sleep that you had in the past, like, I don't know, month and a half? Like, what energy did you have to do the nasty? Like, someone tell me, please. Next, we have Bryony and Finley. Bryony and Isobel are best friends, and Bryony's boyfriend back then was Finley. When they realized that the tournament was right around the corner, they decided to break up because at the end of the day, only one was able to survive, so they would have to kill each other no matter what. It can't be just me who found it annoying that Bryony and Finley kept bringing up their relationship when they have literal skeletons running after them, trying to bite their heads off, and they got maggots crawling all over them, biting their skin off, like literally ripping off pieces of their skin. And here they are talking about,
oh, do you still love me?
Like, time and place, people, time and place. It was happening so frequently, and the end result was always one of them being like, it's not gonna work, we're not gonna go well together. And then they'll talk about it again in the next scene, and then they'll talk about it again in the next scene. And I think at the very last one is when Finley confessed that he still liked her, I think. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I just remember rolling my eyes and being like, oh my gosh, are they really gonna get back together after arguing 5,000 different times? And then they ended up getting together. Call me a little harsh. I feel like I am a little harsh with them. I originally really liked Finley, but I think with the whole Bryony thing going on, I was just like, bro. And then last, we have Alistair and Gavin. I know that they have a big fan base. A lot of people do ship them together ever since the first book, so if anything, a lot more people were excited and happy that they got together. But, oh, wow, I don't know, I didn't ship them like that. So when the book introduced them having feelings for each other, for a while, they were just going back and forth being like, at the end, they were gonna have to kill each other, so it doesn't even matter what these feelings are about. And it just went back and forth a little bit, right? But I was like,
no way.
There's no way that they are gonna fall in love. Long and behold, they did. When it happened, I was genuinely like, why? What is the purpose of Alistair and Gavin getting together? Because if anything, the fact that they have been allies together for I don't even know how long, I would just think naturally they would find, oh, he's not that bad of a person. Oh, I can't kill him. Like, he's genuinely
a little softy inside.
But it just jumped from I hate you with a burning passion to, I think I kind of like you though. And that was just so mind-blowing to me. Like, what? Actually, now that I think about it, that means Alistair and Gavin are enemies to lovers, which is my top 3 least favorite tropes. That explains why I am so passionate about the fact they got together. Because I remember I genuinely liked it. I think it was fine the way it was. And then when that happened, the scale really dipped a little bit. It's probably because the whole enemies to lovers. But then we get the curveball thrown at us and it just made more sense. Which is the next topic of breaking the Reaper's embrace. The whole second book, our 2 champions, Alistair, Gavin, and the dead brother, Hendry, are trying to find a way to break the curse that is on Alistair, the Reaper's embrace. And all in all, they just couldn't find a cure. When all hope was lost, oh, the irony of it all, the only way to break the curse was from a kiss, which is so ironic because I'm pretty sure, don't 100% quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it could only be given with a kiss. Like, you could only give it to someone with a kiss. And the fact that to get rid of it is with another kiss, I'm admit it, I thought it was pretty genius. Who knew to end something was the way that it started? So in this context, it made sense on why Gavin and Alistair had to get together. Because literally our boy was on his last breath, like his literal last breath, when Gavin decided to just kiss him, and his Reaper's embrace, all the white all over his body disappeared. And I was like, okay, I get why it was necessary. I see it now. I think what it really just narrows down to, I just don't like enemies to lovers. Especially in this case, the fact that this enemies to lovers had no other context behind it. It wasn't like they were childhood friends. It wasn't like it was a sibling's friend who bullied you your whole life. There was no history, there was no connection, and there were no scenes where it could have been like a little spark moment, At that point in the story, my brain has already altered and changed its way of thinking about the storyline and the book in general. So that's more of an unfortunate thing on me, but yeah. If you are a Bryony and Finley stan, or even an Isobel and Reed stan, or even an Alistair and Gavin stan, I apologize. I feel like I am coming off a little harsh. Lastly, I'm sure there are some mixed opinions on this section. I'm a sucker for spoilers. I thrive off of spoilers. I didn't know how, I didn't know when or why. I just saw that she died, and she didn't make it out with the other 4. First, I found it quite genius that in order to break down each landmark, you have to dug into that family's history. So for example, I forgot which family it was, but there was a family that was known to collect history. So the task in order to break down that whole landmark was to write down from start to finish your story on how you became champion up until the whole tournament. And if you lied, the magical book would know that you were lying and you were not being honest, completely honest, because they are the keepers of history. So the last one that they had to go to was the Lowe family's landmark, which is the castle, and the relics that match with it was the crown. But because the crown relic did not drop in time, like literally drop from the sky in time, Isobel and Reed decided to create a duplicate, which they also thought it was the perfect time and genius idea to do the little nasty while they waited for the potion to be complete. But that is aside from the point. Like I said, each child has to correlate with the family's history. So for the Lowes, Alistair was faced with these like ghost ancestors, and he had to kill every single one of them off. But each one of those ancestors also had like a story that goes with them. So in order to kill them off, he needed to do a certain thing for each person because each person had a different history behind them. The last one was a dragon, and I forgot why the dragon was irrelevant. I think maybe because it was like a castle dragon. I don't remember. But anyways, while Alistair was fighting off the dragon, he told Finley and Bryony to go on ahead and finish the trial. And as you know, the Lowes have a thing for sacrificing. And our good old Bryony, who's already struggling and barely surviving as it is, because a couple hours before, in order to make the duplicate crown, someone needed to give up some life magic. What does that mean? That means your lifespan will get shaved in half, or like just shaved off how many years, depending on how much life magic they take. And in order to get that life magic, you need to be in severe pain. So what did they do? They break all of her bones in her arm, like literally shattered every single piece and fiber in her freaking arm so that the life magic in her arm will be drained out of her. Obviously, they like mend it back together, but context, she's literally so tired from lack of sleep already, and her life magic got shaved. When she was at this trial, she was alone, she shed some blood, which ended up killing her. And that is when the low trial ends because someone just sacrificed themselves. You see the little loop going on here? That was her heroic act, and I don't really know how I feel about it. Now, before y'all come at me, like, you gotta understand from the beginning, she was already full of herself. She was already egotistic and had a huge hero complex. And yeah, she does have a big character growth at the end of the second book, but it kind of leaves a bittersweet taste in my mouth. The fact that in a way, she basically got what she always wanted, which was to be the savior for everyone, was to be the hero for everyone. Is it just me? Like, this is the part where I think more than anything else that I talked about, like this whole 20-minute, 10-minute, whatever minute ramble that I just went on, this one is where I really want your thoughts on, because I don't know, in a way, for me, it seems like, yeah, she sacrificed herself so she wouldn't be alive, but she got what she always wanted, was to be the hero for everyone. This duology has definitely got me in my thoughts. I don't think I have thought about a book this seriously and this complicatedly in a hot minute. I don't have any book friends in the real world, so I decided to make this video. I apologize if I offended anyone in any way. I feel like I came off a little too aggressively. I was just very passionate. This is still very fresh in my mind. I finished this book 2-3 days ago, so I'm still very much thinking about it every single day in every waking moment. I hope you guys didn't take it to heart. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to hurt you in any way, so please take everything that I say lightly. I'm still really upset that Isabel and Alistair didn't get together. I was really rooting for them until the very end. And I think, actually, now that I think about it, that's probably another reason why I wasn't so into Isabel and Reed and Alistair and Gavin, because up until the very end, I genuinely thought Alistair and Isabel was gonna get together. So actually, now that I think about it, that makes a little more sense too. See, this is why I needed to talk about it with someone. Anyways, if you guys like these spoiler videos, then please let me know, because that was it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and make sure to read every single one of them, and I'll see you guys next time with Sarah. Bye!